we found ourselves, and at first I thought it was alfalfa, but it turned out to be soybean.
How much is a buttload of corn? How much corn can you store in your butt? I'm just curious.
Well, if you're a jackass, I'm thinking 3 bushels. Maybe 4. Anyway, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. I hope everyone's having a great Friday night wherever you happen to be. Oh, welcome. It's Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon for y'all, so I hope all y'all having a good day. For our Aussies, it's afternoon, man. It's like noon or something, so they're having a good afternoon over there. Saturday, having a bar, out in the back, having some fun, chasing some, we're not going to say what they're chasing, but, this is a even show because it might be a guy chasing a girl chasing a guy, neutral, chasing neutral. I don't know. We're not going to go there. But anyway, somebody chasing somebody down there after a few beers is all I can say. For our friends here in the United States, it's 10 p.m. Michael's time, so about 10:15. So they're getting warmed up out there in New York City, getting drunk.
Warmed up? It's cold as hell up here.
Now I'm talking about booze-wise, man.
No. People are putting their body armor on trying to go to 7-Eleven. That's
I know. Well, yeah, we're going to talk about that, too. In guys and girls, we got quite a few stories across. We got quite a few war stories and military stories to go through tonight as well. It's just a lot going on around the world, a lot going on in the United States. And just to open this up, now we're not going to talk about this right off the bat, but we're going to talk about this later in the show. So I seen our what is it, Janet Yellen, is that her name, come out and say that Joe Biden paid down half the deficit under COVID conditions. Now, okay, maybe because we didn't have to spend a bunch of money and everything else, maybe that was possible because nobody was doing anything. But then I got to thinking, they were doling out money and not getting any tax money back because no one was working. No companies were making money. So I'm thinking, so what do we got to like the magic tooth fairy deficit payer? So we're going to check into this story and doing the show because I just seen it. I mean, literally 5 minutes before I came in here to sit down and talk with Mike, I saw this article. So it's from a reliable news source, but that doesn't mean crap these days. So I'm going to check it out while we're talking, doing the show. Anybody has any information on it, please feel free to send it. So you can hit me up at iCarCox in a minute, or you can come into the chat room. And from where are we tonight? We are on my 2 personal pages, United Public Radio, Facebook. What is that? News on the Flip Side, Facebook, which we need to change to Centralist. UFO on the Cover. We're on UFO Paranormal on YouTube. We're also on Twitch and Twitter. I forgot we're on LinkedIn. I have to change one of these to LinkedIn, but we're not on LinkedIn right now, but I'll change it during the night. So, and then, of course, we're on the radio network around the world that you can listen to us anywhere. It's funny. Just before I came on, I was talking with my daughter and my wife, and we were sitting in the room, and I clicked on iHeart by accident. And while I'm flipping through iHeart, what I see in big, bold letters, United Public Radio, UFO Paranormal Radio. I was like, look at that crap. So nice to see that. I'm not making no money off of that, but still, it's nice most people don't realize it, but it's just, our planet's spinning around. We're so many of these podcasts. Our sun is orbiting our galaxy. Don't ever tell me you can't find us. Not only is it all you have to do is type in a show name, a station name, and you'll find us. And by doing so, we pass through clusters of stars around, and we've been around for stuff like that. And every now and then we might get a little too close to something. That might be what tricks, because they're all kind of spread out. So what are we going to talk about first? And a lot of scientists think that. So Joe Biden threatened Russia because Iran. So there's nothing wrong with preparing ourselves ahead of time on thinking. I also hear that Iran aliens are out there wanting to help us do that. It's even to help them fly the drones because the Russians can't fly the drones. What the
and they denied it.
They'll help give us the knowledge and the information to do it. Even though they've been busted doing it. I mean, first off, Russia. Who wrote that? Look, you've always been a hero, man. I'm thinking Putin, man, get out there with his judge. I mean, old Mario, 80 years old, to ride the horse, kids out there. We'll be doing hypnosis. Yeah, he's manly, man. Yeah, we do it online, but I don't really like to do it. What happened to your military? Have you not been watching your military for the last 8 years? What the hell's going on here?
They didn't just call out Iran. They called out Iraq.
I said a tarot cat card deck. So that's probably older than most of the people listening. See, Iraq, I can tell you this over 40 years.
Iraq has our equipment.
I think. Well, I'm just saying we still have treaties with Iraq. That can mess Iraq up. They can find their ass at war with us. They were used for lots of interesting stuff, and they sit in a cedar box in my room. I just don't understand this. I'm confused. Fire every in general you have. Every one of them. Just go through the whole. Go find some kid out in the sticks in the woods and give him the freaking job. He's going to do a better job. I mean, the way I read cards, I designed it myself, so it's much more accurate standard. I'm just saying. Yes, but anyway, that's not what we're going to talk about. One night I might come on and do a show. People have been trying to get me for years to put it up on YouTube. The style I use. I don't understand. I mean, you're the second most powerful military in the world. and you're embarrassing.
I
was talking with a friend of mine, and she had
reminded me that they call out 200,000
doing this. We're supposed to be scared of you. Now you're embarrassing us for being scared of you.
They call out 200,000.
Let's talk about UFOs. And they really didn't talk about anything.
Give them body armor. Old guns, they said no.
Maybe in the private meeting,
no body
in the public meeting, they didn't talk about it.
So and no food,
other than showing a couple of
the whole thing is copy. It doesn't make any sense.
It could be UFOs flying around. Well, it could be alien craft flying around or something else.
Send Russia some weapons?
But we don't really know what that was.
I see you would try to start a war in Taiwan.
You can't count on the government to tell you the
truth. Not just the United States got it.
Honestly, I don't
Europe
think they know as
did
much
too,
as
we will
think
defend
they
Taiwan.
know.
So, look, China,
I think in a lot of ways they're just as scared as the average Union that something may happen.
You get your ass whooped. You only got 400 nukes, and we'll shoot.
And as far as
your Navy will be sunk long before you
okay.
even get a chance to use it.
Let's get back.
Let me put this clear to the world.
So
China has not been in a military engagement.
They do not happen outside of family lines, and they
outside
do not
of its own walls ever.
Anybody who tells you that is lying. They've never.
Okay, and what makes it worse,
pure and simple,
is Chinese. The only
most people
Chinese
will never remember
Chinese.
Ever being taken.
So they can't. They've never invaded and tried to keep a territory.
Anybody
before.
who's been taken.
Could you
will
imagine
never,
Chinese soldiers in places
taken.
like New York?
They may have some weird
survives.
They might think about some strange stuff.
I know. I mean, it would be such a nightmare for them. Now, out west, I don't know.
2% that do remember being taken. There's a reason why.
When I say out west, I'm talking
because they have shown some type of interest. So those people may end up being keepers.
You might be able to invade California.
Which keepers are just
contactees
that help out.
But the rest of us
aliens with other contactees on board the ship.
Military or not, the rest of us are going to fight.
They may become
I'll tell you about the Chinese. They have no strategy.
No, there's a couple of different things they put that you can become so that you're
ago.
out there telling people
Japan walked in there and walked over them like a
and it doesn't really matter what your story is. It's just the fact that you're out there
strategy
talking about, hey, I've met these aliens. I've been involved with these aliens. And I just want to tell you what's happened. Some of it's going to be scary. Some of it's not going to be good. I mean, if it's between, say, age 12 and age 28, there's probably some pretty nasty
biggest rivers have dried up. And they lost their hydropower. They lost their shipping ability. I mean, people don't have food on board ships. It's like really
babies being taken, stuff like that. I mean, and all kinds of body parts being taken and put off. Mental and physical stress to see what the human body will take. There's a lot of that goes on from puberty till about 28 or 29.
Becoming wealthy, just like Russia, because us and our allies were just spending money there.
And if you're one of the ones who have made it past all the BS in the beginning,
other things come
they
out.
want you. They want you to be a communicator.
You don't
they want you to just go out and speak in general.
So we're just not going to be a keeper. There's lots of things that they really want you to do that helps status.
Other contactees. Again, they don't really care about the general population. I hate saying that.
Venezuela, they got even less money. Cuba, they got even less money. Russia, well, obviously Russia ain't got no money, so their allies are broke.
When I met you, I already knew that.
So how do you maintain anything
with a little bit of work, Nicole?
China picked the wrong
allies. Actually bring back the childhood stuff.
The Communist
Party, and I bet you most of it is not bad. I bet you most of it's fun. That's a weird thing. I'm glad you typed that because
you know what?
For kids,
run the world the way I want to. Is we do it the way I want to.
A lot of different people.
Americans allies will stay friends with us, and we will become the most powerful thing to ever exist.
Orientating.
I just, China is a bad thing.
And she just wrote in there. That's why I don't have kids.
Without money, they can't even use a military. Yeah, and like they said, they got 400 nukes, but big deal.
A lot of people feel I think it's past now.
Mitsubishi.
You'll get a better understand why they take them. So they take them because they're
16 years old. Some bitch is beautiful.
And
still works
too much of a hybrid, they can't live here on Earth for a couple of reasons. One, they may not look right, but two, even if they look like us, they may have abilities that do not fit into our society.
It lasted not even a year.
They may be very empathic, very intelligent.
Just under the warranty. So he sent me another one, and it lasted. Guess what?
Where they can move things around with their mind. That's not something that can be allowed. Plus,
the Chinese bought General
everybody's minds. They'll have limited. That's what I'm saying. So they can't actually.
The sole maker of General Electric.
They might get angry and kill somebody without realizing. Angry and just slam somebody against a wall.
So you can buy a fridge.
Well, I don't know how that works because they can't buy all the GE because GE has a military
regular human food. So
they
don't allow
the appliance.
Take them and put them on ships.
And
that's
also
where they go to work. They go to work like keepers or whatever. They may send them on other worlds.
They don't need. You know what? They don't need any of that. They own TikTok, man.
It's one of those things, and I cannot tell you. I had $1 for every parent who's a contactee who told me that they were pissed off and wanted to slam an alien against the wall for taking their kids 2 decades
everybody else in the Japanese
I was pissed. Everybody I know is pissed. I mean, how can you not be pissed? You know the shit that you went through, good or bad. You know these guys came and took you and did whatever.
Like if you go
took your kids without even asking you or taking you with them. I mean,
egg McMuffin in the morning.
If you take me with them, that's one thing.
It's not a typical one.
Don't come take my kids. Take them and do whatever the hell you're going to do.
There's a couple of things.
Bring them
even
back.
at McDonald's, you can find 6 or 7 products,
and it pisses off everybody in there.
It's not just there. Other places around the world are the same way. Because there are things, you know, that
they're teaching
other
away. I'm like, oh,
like
just
down
shut
in
up.
Texas, you can get like a
Stop
ranch,
it.
Texas ranch burrito, breakfast burrito. Some of them sell pizza.
Actually,
so there's regional
Marsha,
differences.
There are regional.
I was
everywhere you go.
When you watch people around the world, because like
I still am in a lot of ways, but
especially
I'm a little bit
I love watching
Japanese
people
more than I was when I was younger. But I'm still kind of a big PLL.
You know what? I know a lot of anal retentive people in my life.
You say peace, love, and
laughter. None of them like this. These people. I mean, they have organizers.
Hey, Rachel, how you doing?
It's insane. I got to say, every state-of-the-art gadget.
Well, you know, some people say that, Rachel. Some people believe that they
do kind of great. It's kind of like letting somebody test drive.
And in some ways, I could go for that.
It is funny,
but the parents didn't choose to damn.
And then you watch crazy.
So they're being tortured because their child decided to choose something when they were dead last time.
And then you get to watch
I don't know.
chefs criticizing people cooking.
I don't necessarily agree.
Not sure what the hell that's about.
They're going for that because the parents are not going for it. So this would be like a karma thing to the parents.
I bet you sell more steaks than you do.
A lot of my friends talk about why we're here and
that's a pretty damn good cook.
But they forget.
But hey,
some
look,
of
if
us
it's
are
down
not
in the
here to learn.
bayou,
Some of us are here to teach.
It's one of them things.
Not everybody is here to
the
experience bad karma. Some people are here to give other people bad karma. That's what they're here for, you know. So, I would think for anybody who's getting older and advanced in this, well, understand
all those games you see is for training.
We got some bright people on the network.
Well, a lot of this stuff out there now is all out there. It's all.
And you could be right, Rach. I don't know. I mean, until we get a gray or a reptilian or human to come take an interview with us,
even that way. I mean,
but
they'll be.
And you know, it's funny.
We got some vicious kids.
Well, the grays don't have a sense of humor. Well, they do.
We're afraid of our own
emotions too. People,
well, especially if these are mass-produced drones, where it doesn't matter if they bring them back.
They're more like the Vulcans in the way
I remember the
gentleman
who I can't think of his name right offhand, when he invented the
software. They will do a belly laugh every once in a while, and they may even make a smart comment every once in a while. So the reptilians and humans have notions like we do. Matter of fact,
one person's
flying kind of wear theirs on their sleeves.
100. Now you can break them off.
It's AI.
Body build, fingers, eyes, nose.
But they actually got a guy flying or a girl flying. I shouldn't say that. They have a person.
Maybe it's because we got that little tiny section
out of. Sometimes it's NORAD. Sometimes it's other places. They have places all around.
It's a weird thing. And then the grays, they come in different sizes and different colors.
And they are partially AI.
5-6 foot grays.
But at certain points in the mission, the AI is not taking over. The person's taking over.
And white. None of them, by the way,
you have to
actually
make
gray.
the call if you're going to kill somebody.
That's always cracked me up. Which used to be abduction criteria for the organization.
Most jets are these days. Most people don't even realize that.
So
most airline jets.
I did a hypnosis session the other night for a documentary that's coming up in about a year or 6 months or so.
Now, there is software.
One of the things that the girl's talking, I asked her to describe the things.
I want to hear talking giants.
First thing she's talking about.
There's no chickens in there.
These electric cobalt.
But also those drones they're selling over there from Iran. Some of them are programmable, so they can program
on board the ship. The ship uses it for fuel, but it's a blue color. It's like a blue plasma, and it's absorbed to your skin. So it's a weird thing for them. So when they're just
but they're not only just doing that; they're also selling their surface to surface.
As it goes out, it kind of looks a little gray sometimes, and then it even kind of looks a little translucent sometimes. Even the whites and browns, when they do this, they eat the same food. It changes the way they look.
If I get this straight,
it's a strange
Iran is selling Russia's arms back to Russia.
In order for us to do that, we got to go.
I don't know. They said on the news that it was their drones. Missiles developed by Iran, surface to surface.
Yeah, we know a lot about it today. Thank God, we got 87,000
to Russia for the effort.
You know where Iran got its drone technology.
Plus, I'm affiliated with God knows how many other abduction organizations.
They're the ones that had it. They went and put it on display for the whole world.
So all of this stuff is important.
Drone technology,
and you have to remember,
for some reason, the
United
States really wasn't
in kind.
Secretive
some
about
of us are here to learn, some of us are here to teach, and some are to do both. I would say that like the majority of our hosts on the network are probably here to do both.
Well, the little drones,
I doubt, because we have some really
sophisticated, but it's still basically the same thing.
So I think they're here to do both. You know,
they still run.
So in order to make the building, I mean, the front face of it came down.
She must have been really bad.
The point being, ammonium nitrate with a diesel fuel plus the primer cord.
Frank, abductions go back as long as I can remember.
Again, guns don't kill.
I imagine a lot of little people stories and a lot of the
somebody
stories
wants to figure out a way to kill you. They're going to kill you.
Grays or reptilians and humans. Matter of fact, the reptilians and humans show up all throughout our history since we've been able to write. The grays show up a little further, a little bit later.
Joe, the
so you can find them on some.
FBI's heard this a million times.
You're breaking up, Joe. You're breaking up.
There's a couple of pieces in
Joe Biden's hacking you.
the Egyptian hieroglyphs that you can find. There's also some works in South America. But they seem to
I don't know, and the cable company's supposed to be fixing this too.
I really think they were sent here. I think the Greys were sent here to keep the reptilians and humans from getting into a fight, because they are quite a bit more.
We were yelling at them, and they were going, "Yes, sir."
And
no
that's
problem,
another
sir.
thing.
We'll fix
In
that
the
right
early
away,
days,
sir.
we thought the Greys were here to serve the other races. Now we find
every
out that
time
the
this
only thing they
glitches,
serve is the light
I
beams,
said,
and
this
that's it.
shows
They're the
your
peacekeepers.
product
They're the most
to a million
advanced
more
race in the
people. He's like, "What do you
galaxy
mean?"
as
I
it
said,
stands
"That's how
right
many
now,
people
except
listen
for
to
the
the
light
particular
beams.
show I was
So
talking about."
nobody screws
He's
with.
like, "Really?"
And I often wondered why, because a
And then
lot
I
of
come back and I
contactees
say,
will
you
tell
know,
me when the
it's that
reptilian,
spark like
this
piece of
Gray's
shit
presence,
crap
especially if it's
cable
like a 6
company.
or 7 footer.
And he's like, "Oh,"
And
I'm like,
one
"Yeah,
of the reptilians walking,
exactly."
one of the
I
big
said,
alpha
more
males or
you're
females
spreading that around
walk
the
in,
country, more
they
people
will put
listen
their
to
head
us.
down
And
in
I'm going,
respect
"Really?
as they walk
Maybe you
past.
shouldn't get that company."
That tells you right there that
And this is a business connection. This isn't even an
750-pound
ordinary
reptilian,
everyday bullshit.
7-8 foot tall,
It's supposed to
put his
run
little head
perfect
down to a little
99%
skinny
of
ass
the
Gray
time,
as he
so.
went by.
In the end,
Grays
there will only be
recyclability
one.
probably good.
But you know what? I do
reptilian
burn
inside
through
out.
a router about
And
every
the human
2
aliens
years.
do the same thing.
Well, it's a
And it's
modem
weird
router
because,
is what it
you
is.
know,
Burn through one about every 2
two of
years.
these races are pretty
That's
big.
why I don't buy them. I
Makes
used to
me wonder
buy
what
them.
kind
But
of
now
planets
my
they
ass shit
evolved.
Well, you want to change them up. The technology
Well, they're in
improves
there.
every minute of the
I mean,
day.
the humans,
so,
we make
you know,
it.
It does,
if
but
we
you know,
want
oh, and I
to
gotta
change
say
them
they
up,
have
all the time.
excellent. They have excellent.
So maybe we will, but I mean, these
security
races are
software.
average of 7 or 8 feet,
Yeah, so you know, you
anywhere
can
from
kinda stack
500 to
security,
600
which is nice,
pounds.
too.
Are you saying that
The
nobody
human
can hack
aliens that look a lot like us, except their head extends back.
No, indeed.
like
and on
this.
top of that, I'll say this
So
too.
their heads
So
are
just a
about
couple
like
months
that.
ago,
They
we
have hair
lost
like we do,
podcast
and they got
guard to a
6 fingers,
hacker.
6 toes.
Not us. The guy who miserable
they're-
quit just
they
wiped
have-
the guy's whole
It's
career
weird
out.
too. All the
Just
races have
recently,
multiple
another
eye
big
colors,
company
and some of
lost
them are
its whole
close.
website,
None
all
of them
its
are just
podcasts.
like the color
Some guy
eyes
from
we
South
have.
Korea. He did.
Yeah,
What's
they're
it
just
called?
different.
Kind of
Like
porn.
the reptilians, they have orange and red, and this weirdish greenish blue color they have. It's
so anyway, it's
it's
like a bunch of girls
and the Greys that have
hilarious,
everything
funny,
thinks those almond
but they're
things
just
are eyes.
bouncing around on a site where the
patches that
site
go
used to
over
be,
their eyes.
and that's
The
what it
Gray's
is.
eyes about
And
that
then of
big
course
around.
they got
It's about
porn
twice the
actors.
size of eyes. Ours,
I was laughing my ass off.
pupil wise, and also a lot
I
like
think
ours.
either the dude visited
It's
his
just
porn
way
site on a
bigger.
computer with his
Yeah, they must live in a darker
radio.
planet.
Captain, you break it up, Captain.
But the patches
or
are
break it up,
painted.
Captain.
Anyway, they are. They also probably protect our
Rare
eyes
whiskey
from the
shot.
UV on our
I
planet.
can't beam
I
you
would
up
bet
either.
you our sunlight on our planet is much brighter than where they come from.
I'm gonna have to take that.
I mean,
away
you can
from
tell a
Michael.
lot.
I
And
can
see,
it
that's
coming.
research. That's a difference between hearsay
He
and
doesn't
can see
share
it
his
coming.
toys with
physical
the rest of
research.
us.
We actually go out and
I can
research.
see
We
it.
talk
I'm
to
gonna have to
everybody we
see it.
can.
People
Yeah, I've been
love
being
you
nice
guys
because
out there.
That's why we do comparison studies. I mean, we've got 87,000 cases to deal with. You got a lot of comparison
Yeah, I've been
studies.
being
And we've
nice,
been doing
but
it. Well, I've been in the field for
on the
almost
other
4 years, but
computer, so I don't think I have any
the
sound.
And
high
we
court
lost
itself's been
one
around
of
for
our
almost 30.
for Halloween. We
And,
lost one
we
of
do
our
just
people, man.
as many
on the
contactees as
network.
we can
Got
talk.
pushed into a wood
It's how the
chipper.
blood type study got launched.
Yeah.
And everybody freaks out about the blood type
Yes,
study, but
and
A
no one
nasty
actually
one.
knows why we did it. Everybody's comes up with all these crazy.
better
I
be
didn't
nice,
say
which
that
is
out
cool.
loud.
But in truth, is we did it so we could find more
Don't make me
abductees
put
and contactees.
I think
Heli
we may
on
have to.
We,
You
we've
know
been
what?
looking
For the
for
show next
things.
week,
It's
we're
not that we run that you
and
go
get
to
her in
iCross site
here.
and see.
Let's
They help
definitely
us find
take over for a minute.
more abductees.
I don't know about all that,
are
See,
common
see,
amongst
she just got you,
contactees
man.
and
She
abductees.
I don't know
She
about
just
all
went
that.
What
right
do
to
you
the
find?
good
People
throat.
don't know they've been taken
I
off.
might
Like on the
pay for a
website, we
hit
got a
on
bunch of
your
different
ass.
stuff.
You're
They
in
key
New
off on a
York.
bunch of these different things,
She
and they
just
write to
tickles
us.
your throat,
We may
dude.
set up
She's
a
like,
meeting with them to see if there
So,
may be a
so
contact.
let's talk about the.
You know, if you've got an interest in the paranormal, if
I
especially
don't want
interest in
Stephanie
dragons
haunting
and
my
things
house.
like that,
Stephanie, if you're listening, you
ghosties,
go haunt my
poltergeist, stuff like that, it's a
Yeah.
good chance that you've been taken.
And don't
if you like
hurt
things
her
like
now.
Dungeons
She
and
still needs to
Dragons,
hurt.
Dragon, and other things along those lines,
She's
it's a
gonna
good
tempt you
chance
with a
you've been
knife. You
taken.
better be
If you're a
careful.
big
buddy.
sci-fi freak, it's a good chance you've been
She
taken.
might come back as a
If you're spiritual,
she might
new
come
age,
back
it's
as
a
a
good
werewolf,
chance you've been
vampire or
taken.
something.
These are things for some
for
reason
violence.
people cluster around.
Well, you know what?
that have
Stephanie
been
was an
taken.
amazing cook. Yeah, I would
It's
say.
you know,
like
a lot of
cooking down,
contactees will go.
oh my
So
God.
It's a good
so you
station,
start
man.
out as an
Good
abductee.
good
You may have a
coach.
dream one
It's,
night.
she was an interesting
and what the hell
individual,
was
that's
that
for
about?
Not like that other
And
one
then you
that
pay no
will crack
attention.
your nuts.
2 days later, you have the same
Could I?
dream. Yeah, dude. too.
You've been seeing that stuff Amelia's been posting on Facebook. She's got some good
seeing these dreams. They start developing.
Amelia is an FT. No, Amelia is an FT.
And the whole time you're like, what the hell? And then you start reading. You get on the internet. What the hell? Well, somebody else knows that. And you start finding comparisons of other people who are having the same.
Let's go. I want to go through this article.
And then usually you'll start watching sci-fi or things. But a lot of abductees will go through a lot of religion. What I mean by that is they may try Catholic, Baptist, and then they may get into some of the New Age religions. They might even try devil worship because they're looking for answers.
So, but
a lot of them will end up in the paranormal fields because they're
New York
looking for
Times.
answers. They'll start chasing ghosts, thinking maybe that's what it is.
But when you
and it just goes that way. And the more gays on media, especially in paranormal field, most of them turn out to be
Republicans they are leaning towards the GOP.
They don't want
to mainly
they just don't want to know.
Economy. And not only is it leaning, and the guy says, I should change this, rephrase this from leaning to it's swaying voters.
You're right. Well, who wants to get hypnotized first? Let's find out.
And he says, as it looks more and more like we're going into a recession, even more people are running to the red banner. This is
they all turned out to be exactly what it was. And when they
I have seen 4 polls today that
they realized
that the Republicans
they had seen her play TV or something.
And then it took Biden 6 months to turn it all around and make it go
even
down.
They find out the same thing.
It's going to take 4 to 6 years to get us
you
back.
Saw it was interesting. 6 months after Trump was
feeling whatever they felt or whatever
dropping food prices
or whatever they experienced, they're
gas
trying
prices,
to
but
find
you're also seeing
and sometimes, unfortunately, it is just a feeling.
Export of gasoline and production of gasoline.
You really don't know. I mean, it drives a lot of people crazy
as he went along.
You don't know. And once you
know,
this
is his first GDP was like 2.5, which was
don't get hypnotized unless you're ready for what's going to come out. Good or bad.
Wow, that's it. And then he got up to 3.6. So
get into the field, start chasing
like
the field.
4.9, but it's still
if you're not ready to change your life. 3.7. Once it takes over, you're done.
3.6,
and this goes for anybody. This could be in the UFO world.
He was just rolling
tarot
reader, having a good
old
time.
This could be for spiritual people. And this could be for paranormal.
I got to say,
it has a tendency.
The man did all of this. He got our enemies at bay.
It's not a bad life. I'm not saying it is. For a lot of people, it's actually a good life. But you have to be ready because it's going to change your life.
FBI. This is the second time now the FBI is going after. So wait, FBI, I don't even understand this.
Deal with it.
You went after the first time, Comey and all the over to Russia
even
stuff,
though you know some is good, some is bad. If you can come to terms with it, it will enhance your life.
So you didn't see none of this other stuff?
A lot of my friends who are advanced
so now you're trying to get a president for bringing home classified material.
It's
when he was the president.
A lot of them are. It's almost like they can. It's almost like an extra bit of psychic ability that you draw from, that helps them with their reading.
Going to be Nevada,
What do you mean? Do I read a book when I read Carson?
Those are the
yeah, I did like way long time ago. Yes, before you were born.
Hundreds of millions, literally.
Yeah, but that's not enough now. They're saying they're expecting that the Republicans to take the House by a couple of dozen.
That's the Senate. That's just the Senate.
I couldn't resist.
No, the Senate, you don't have supposed to 1 or 2.
So I don't need 25 either.
Pennsylvania.
Oh no, George is big into play for the Senate, just like they were in last election. George decided.
Well, Ginger, it's true. Sci-fi is a great thing. It drives my wife crazy, but I like sci-fi. I'm big into it. I like it. It helps me.
I don't think they can fight back the red wave unless
my brain works so much that I need something mundane. Just let me. I can just fall into it or watch it. And sometimes, like I'll watch sci-fi and then I'll watch it.
I read an article today.
It becomes something. That I know is playing, I can hear it playing in my head, but it allows me to think about other things.
Santos was going to lose his ass off in the Florida election.
Let's just say that Stacey Abrams actually said, if people want to save money and have more money, they should get
somebody lying to you.
She actually said that.
Yeah.
Wow. That's how sick-minded that woman is in the party.
If I was rich, I'd move to Australia. I'd
put things in perspective.
I'd just chase aliens around.
Oh, they just gave Trump's guys 4 months in prison
Mr. Bigelow, yeah.
Contempt of Congress.
And we'll invite Elon along too, because I know Elon wants to meet some aliens.
Steve Bannon.
I'm thinking about just writing Elon saying, "Look, you want to meet a freaking grave? Come over and hang out."
But it's political. There's nothing about January 6th that's not politically
but I don't want to
motivated
scare them.
We
don't want to mess him up already more than he is. It might not be a good thing. I agree with that.
Yeah, Mike Pence.
But anyway, getting back.
Well, yeah, because he had to hide.
So I mean, for the average person, so children, for the most part, when they're being taken, they don't really experience anything. Aliens are real careful not to taint them at all.
Food there is terrible.
There is some fear among some
Oregon,
most of them are just
some
like
guy for the Forest Service was setting fires.
They entertain them when they're.
I've never been to Hooters.
Keepers deal with them just toys.
Yeah, every Hooters I've ever been to,
nothing you would find on Earth.
Why do they name it?
Usually something that works off of telepathy.
I used to do that.
Everybody
would
there to
understand.
About
Buddy and I used to go to the one in Rockville all the time, and
I don't know if it's some kind of field boost or it's just being with the Grays and
we would just make sure she knew what she was doing. He'd ask them. The new waitress, how many dimes to $1, and they'd always say $1 for $1.
Not the regular ships, but the ones that are
I'm not going to ask for you to change. And then I'd always ask,
those are different. They're
would you mind going and put on the Redskins versus the Penguins? They're going to play in a few minutes on the TV.
And they have all kind of aliens aboard, all kind of environments.
Young lady who's in a sports bar
was
running around trying to find
you're just
Washington Redskins playing the Penguins. Hockey versus football. They don't play together.
And
so it's just funny to watch.
Do all kind of stuff aboard the ship.
I know nothing about them. Do they do lap dances?
Stuff because our brains aren't big enough yet
to
house, all the information we learned. So
averagely
you can actually upload information from your brain into the computer there and take it back and forth. And anywhere you are,
one of my friends,
information can be transferred back and forth just like you would do over the internet. It's a strange little phenomenon, but it's a great thing because eventually all contactees are going to end up with host bodies when they die. So
somebody reach through.
I want to go for a ride.
I know a lot of y'all have heard this back in the 70s and 80s, especially. Lots of people who are going on board ships.
The food is watching a movie. I don't have to see
giant tubes, look like vacuum tubes with humans inside.
First off, it's all weird.
Well, it got weird when people started seeing their cells, but they weren't quite the same.
For what you're going to pay for lunch, you might as well.
They might have been a little wider, a little stocky, a little taller. Their heads were
no one goes there for the food. They
this
go there
is
for the
the
booze
vessel
and the
that your
chips.
consciousness will be uploaded into.
That's the reason.
This makes the
That's
fourth
another
poll
reason why so many people, there's so many reports of UFOs